shit's in the safe. Got me a spot out the way. Nigga just tryna be safe.
Let's get to a sports talk. Oh, damn.
Coach, there's no doubt about that, but you ain't no Bill Belichick. And when you sit up there and you talk about how people are happy to be here, all right, or you imply that people are happier to be there in Seattle with you, okay, than they are to be in New England, well, why don't you have more Super Bowl championships to show for it? That's really what it comes down to when you act like that. Because guess what? People want to come play for you. Matter of fact, I don't know if everybody does want to come play for you to the level that they used to anyway. I recall you costing the Seattle Seahawks a Super Bowl title because Marshawn Lynch, beast mode, is running roughshod over everybody, gets you down to the half-yard line, and with a Super Bowl championship on the line, instead of giving the ball to beast mode to run it in, you decide to throw a pass damn near over the middle because you wanted Russell Wilson to be the hero. He gets intercepted. Malcolm Butler becomes the star. The Patriots win the championship. Tom Brady is jumping on the sideline like a kid in the candy store. And the Legion of Boom, all of them want to get the hell away from you because you sat up there and made that call. The franchise has never, ever been the same since that day. Now, Pete Carroll's a hell of a coach, and he's actually a good man. But here's the reality of the situation. Got to know your place. When you sit up there and laughing, you don't get to allude to and imply anything about somebody as great as Pete Carroll, as Bill Belichick, where you have a resume that clearly does not measure up to his. Know your place. And that's my message to Pete Carroll.
Well, look, Bill Belichick's in a class by himself. That includes with Vince Lombardi or anyone. Bill Belichick's the greatest football coach of all time. Any level, he's number one.
You can't take nothing away from Pete Carroll. I get it, he made that mistake in the Super Bowl. Everyone make the mistakes. Bill Belichick made mistakes before. Take that Super Bowl for against Philly, for instance. He leave your best corner on the sideline. And it caused you another championship. But I'm glad the Eagles won. But at the same time, even the great ones make mistakes in crunch time. He made that by leaving Malcolm Butler on the sideline. Pete Carroll ain't no Bill Belichick. But the result is how he got Seattle been playing over the years. You can't take nothing away from him. The smartest move Pete Carroll made was keeping Russell Wilson attached to that team. And look what the result is. In the playoffs, this time you got Josh Gordon coming there with DJ Metcalf, Josh Lockett. You had Ziggy Ansah. You had Clowney. So you still have a good defensive line to go along with this team. You don't know what the result gonna be for Seattle this year. Like I said, the great ones make a mistake too. He ain't on Bill Belichick level, but he is a winning coach, and that's why he's still in Seattle.
Because in a league that encourages parity for 20 years now, they could win the Super Bowl in any given year, and they are aided absolutely by the fact that they play in a pathetic division. Throughout his entire tenure, it's been pathetic in the AFC East. When you look at the list of quarterbacks that Brady's played against, it's ridiculous. Nevertheless, this can't happen. This doesn't happen. What Belichick's done, he's in a class by himself. You talk about the rest of the coaches. Pete Carroll is somewhere in the group, probably not number one, with Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh. Even though Andy Reid hasn't won a Super Bowl, I think it's safe to say that he is an elite coach. Sean Payton, and those guys, right? He can talk about, he's entitled to think that his way works better than most. But clearly, it's an inferior method to Bill Belichick's. However Bill Belichick does it is better. Now, what's the difference, really? Pete Carroll is known as a player's coach. He is a guy that you want to play for, right?
Thank you.
Bill Belichick is a guy who doesn't really care about how you feel about it. He wants you to do your job. even though I hear that he's a much more of a player's coach than people realize. Like, you can do your thing as long as you're on time, you produce, etc. And he ain't gonna pay you, by the way. But he's also the GM.
Earl Thomas would tell you Pete Carroll ain't gonna pay you either.
Pete Carroll is a guy who's basically saying in this clip, I'm a player's coach. People like to play for me. And that's all well and good, except that the results, as good as they are with Pete Carroll, are simply not Belichick.
Okay, all right. So, but we're not having a conversation about who's the better coach. Pete Carroll was implying that it's more fun to play in Seattle than it is in New England.
I agree.
And I hear you guys, and I understand where you're coming from. But it's true. What Pete Carroll said is true. We ain't making more of it. Players are happier playing in places
But is
like
it winning
Seattle.
more fun?
Yes, winning is fun.
Winning
but
rings?
I'm telling you, how
They
you
win in Seattle.
How you win too is fun, right? Like there is a. But Molly, we're having two different conversations.
Okay.
All right. Stop throwing Belichick resume out there, please. When the man say it's more fun to play in Seattle, it is. Players have a better time. They enjoy playing in Seattle more than they do in New England. I'm not saying that players hate New England. I'm not saying that. But there is a regimented part of New England that some players don't like.
But what people
and
are
guys that I
objecting to,
know,
Mark, is what we're saying is when you're a little dismissive.
He got a point. Think about New England. It's like you gotta walk on the eggshells. It's like you can't do too much when you with that team. When you watch them, yeah, they get the job done, but you also see you really can't do too much celebration when you score. Or you can't really do too much when you make a tackle like that. Or you can't really talk to the media like that. Or you really can't be yourself when you up there. In Seattle, it's much looser up there. That's why you get the best out of players when they're in other organizations. Like Seattle, you can enjoy yourself. You don't have to walk on eggshells. You can just be yourself. You don't have to be uptight. And that's how New England want to run their team. They don't want their players to do so much. You have to do it a certain way. You have to be in your best behavior. And that's why you get some players when they get out of there and tell you what's going on in there. Yeah, they're a good organization, but you also need to allow players to enjoy themselves and not have them walk on eggshells all the time.
Or it seems a little contemptuous, or you're making fun of the way another guy does it, but his results are demonstrably better. It can rub people the wrong way.
But he's not making fun of it. He is simply saying it's more fun to play in this organization because I'm the coach than it is in New England.
Doesn't it suggest that you shouldn't be having as much fun then? Maybe they should have less fun.
Why wouldn't they have much fun? Listen, bro, we just finished having a conversation that New England is doing something that only happens every 100 years.
Yeah.
Like, we need to stop comparing other places to the Patriots. We need to not compare other places to Alabama. We don't, like, we are fortunate enough to live in a generation in football where arguably we see the best college football coach to ever coach and the best NFL coach. Let's not live in this world where we gonna see other teams rip off 9 Super Bowls.
Hold on. Let's think about something here. I agree with you if you're comparing Landry to Chuck Noll. I agree with you if more the modern day era you're comparing Saban to Dabo. Because obviously over the last 4 years, their success has been pretty equal. All 4 trips to the college football playoffs, 2 national championships between them. I get that. But when there is a clear distinction between, with people in the same profession, between one man and everybody else, you do find yourself, at least as a layman or a novice, sitting back and saying, damn, can't y'all figure out how to emulate some of that success? Because what I'm saying to you is this. When I sit up here and I think about any job, not just my job, but any job, what I'm going to pay attention to is what's working. It's not just about having a good time. Because I don't have a good time losing. I'm telling you that right now. I don't have a good time losing. I'm not a fun person to be around when I'm losing. I'm a George Steinbrenner.
Is that why you're so cranky on this show all the time?
Well, I'm very happy on this show because we win. Pay attention.
Well, we do.
The point that I'm trying to make to you is that at the end of the day, all I'm saying is that you look at it and you compare the stuff. You look at Pete Carroll, he got 1 Super Bowl. Yeah, granted, it's more...
Like, everyone's not the same. Yeah, I don't like losing either. But at the same time, you do have to enjoy it. When you enjoy something, you get the best out of people. Don't get me wrong, the win get the best out of everyone on their team because they play their way. But Seattle, Pete Carroll, they play their way. They enjoy themselves a lot more. It's freedom. And you can't say you enjoy winning because Seattle's 6-2. Even though New England 8-1, Seattle, they still winning. They got the players to get back to a Super Bowl. Yeah, he ain't got the Bill Belichick resume, but he is a winning coach. And you have a quarterback there that can get the job done as well.
On the play for you, but is it more beneficial?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.